You can
Nice.
pass.
Okay, so Pywebdriver by Pierrick Brun.
Just a real quick presentation of myself. I work at the French part of Accretion, and I'm currently maintaining Pywebdriver. So that's why I will do this presentation. Next slide. Just the initial goal. Yes, thank you. So why does Pywebdriver exist? There are some alternatives, but they're suboptimal in certain ways. The IoT box, for instance, adds unnecessary hardware because you need a Raspberry Pi. And although it has some drawbacks, it runs Odoo. So if you want to code for the IoT box, you will need to code in Odoo. So it's a bit more unnecessary dependencies and etc. No, it's not. You do not need a PostgreSQL server, but in the past you would need a PostgreSQL server, which is not really something you want in your Raspberry Pi. Although it's very expensive. It's 155 euro plus 25 euro per month. So that's very expensive for a point of sale, for example. Another alternative is POXBusless script, which you do not with it you do not need the IoT box, so it's a bit easier, but you still need to have Odoo, and in fact it installs the same software on your machine as you would do in an IoT bot. So you have the problem of Odoo. You need to write Odoo code to make your connection with your devices. A very recent thing that you may have heard in the Odoo experience is the driverless printing for a point of sale that Fabien demonstrated. It's a very nice addition, but for it to work, you need to have a network accessible devices, which means it doesn't work if your printer only connects through USB, for instance. You can pass to me. So here's a list of things that work with Pywebdriver. There are some that I do not think work with Odoo, at least natively. And the goal is to have everything that works in Odoo work in Pywebdriver plus some other things. So you can have a printer, an Epson printer for receipts like this one. You can have LCD customer displays to print the price like this one. Some payment terminals, the French one work, and some others with work from our friend at Axon. Also, you can make PDF label printers like this one work to have some nice labels. For instance, to label products or to label inventories. And also you can use it to print on standard A4 printer. You can then pass the on which printer do you want to print, etc. Your customer can just click on a button on Odoo, and it will instantly print. So you don't have to have someone who knows how it works to make it work. Also, you can make some industrial devices work via serial interface, or there are some work. There's some work which is done for waiting machines. Yes, thank you. How does Pywebdriver work? So it's a little bit different from the IoT box and Odoo standard way. It's pure Python code, which means you can code and in Pywebdriver if you only know Python but not Odoo. It can be useful to make someone work on it when this person does not know Odoo. You have a local Flask server, which serves the port 1869, like Odoo does, and it mimics Odoo endpoints so that you don't have a difference if you use this or the standard way. And it communicates using Python tools like PyUSB, etc., which are very good libraries in general. I can pass. Thank you. If you want to test Pywebdriver, install it or contribute to it, you would need to go to this place. It's not on the OCA at the moment, but the goal is to have it under the OCA umbrella in a while. It's not all the work to do it is done now, but I hope it will be done in not so much time. If you go in the GitHub releases page, you can download .deb file and .zip file for Windows. And just recently, I added the Windows graphical installer with Inno setup, and this is what I want to demonstrate today. If I have more time, I don't know if it's okay with time, but this is the next thing we will do.
Yes, is my mic up? I'm not sure. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Yes, so we still have time. Main issue will be sharing your Windows.
I think my Windows works because, in fact, Wednesday I only tested my virtual machine because I thought Firefox will not be a problem. Let's go.
So I stopped sharing. You should be able. Yes.
And it works.
That's good.
Great. So I have already installed the drivers, so it will not be included in the demonstration, but it's not what I want to show you. I will install Pywebdriver, which is not installed at the moment on the machine, as you can see. Okay, it's just a bit. It's unresponsive. Okay, so as you can see, nothing's running both in HTTP and HTTPS, and I've built a setup. Yes, and it's the classic Windows way to install software. You download .exe and you click next until it's okay. Double check. Okay. Here we are asked to install a certificate. It is used to serve HTTPS endpoints and to not have to authorize the auto-generated certificate. It's a tool called MK-cert, and it installs certificate authority on your computer so that when you access the HTTPS localhost 8069 port, you will have a nice HTTPS website, and you will not have to authorize it. So you're sure it will work in the POS. It's a bit long on the first start, as I've tested this morning. The goal will be to print on this printer, which is installed on Windows, and it communicates via Bluetooth. It's right there. And okay. I think it's a bit long because I'm sharing my screen and it should not look like that. It should be a little bit more customer friendly. And I will also show this this customer display. I will also print on this customer display if it wants to start. Okay. As you can see, we have three drivers on our machine. The Win32 print is the one that can print on standard printers. The ESCPOS driver is the one that will send ESCPOS commands to a printer. This is what will print on this, and this is what Odoo uses to print receipts in the post. Let's try to print one. I don't know if it's not working or if it's just very long to do something. As you can see, it fetches the status of the printer and it shows that it's available, so it should be okay. I feel like nothing. Looks better now. Let's go again. Okay.
Wow.
So here's the printer and is a test print. It's only a test ticket that shows that everything works, and you can use it in Odoo without a problem. It's more like a debugging tool to check that your installation is okay and that it's in the Odoo side that you have a problem. For the display, it does not work right away, as I've tested this morning. So I'll show you quickly how to debug this kind of problems. There's in Pywebdriver, you have a tool that allows you that simplifies the configuration. In theory, with this device that is serial over USB, you should tell Pywebdriver which port is used, which serial port is used. And there's something that will try to find which port is it, but it does not always work. As you can see, in the display driver, the device name is auto, so it will try to find the device, and it does not work in our case. So I go in the device manager, and I will find the correct port, which is COM4 for BCD 1100 USB serial port. I'll write COM4 here. This is like /dev/TTI USB 0 for Linux. And now I will have to restart Pywebdriver because before it works. It does not work right away. So to restart it, it's a standard Windows service. So I'll go in the services Windows utility, and I'll find Pywebdriver. Okay, and I'll restart it. On Linux, it's systemd services, so it's kind of the same thing. And now, if I show you, when I try to print the status, it displays correctly the status because it can find it in the right COM port. And it's okay. This is what the demo is finished, and we can start with the questions. I think we still have 5 minutes.
Yes.
Let it right.
So first feedback is your comments about you being fearless when printing through Bluetooth on a Windows virtual machine. I guess this was rehearsed.
This is why I tested this a lot of time before doing it, and I did not test sharing my Firefox screen.
Okay. So yeah,
that's the questions. But if you ask me them, it's okay for me. I don't know if this is how you want to do it.
Yeah, that's fine. I have a few questions if people don't have more questions than I do.
Okay.
So basically, if I get it well, if I need to add a new device, I need to make some new code and to repackage a new installer.
Exactly.
Okay.
I can show you because I can share my screen in my Windows machine. So in the code for everything in Pywebdriver is in this repo. I just get in the master branch. And if you want to add another device, you should create a new plugin.
Okay.
For instance, you have the Xpos driver, which is the one we used, and the display driver that we used too. And you should just create a new file here and code things in it to make it work. For example, a recent one is the Win32 print driver, which sends Win32 print instructions to print with a standard Windows machine printer.
Okay. And how do you choose a printer from Odoo when printing?
In fact, it depends on where you're printing. If you're in the POS, this is Pywebdriver that will choose which one with the name of the printer. For instance, here we have printer name in the Xpos driver category. We have printer name equal Xpos. This is the Xpos driver that will be used here. But a new work has been done. I did not integrate it, but you can now do printer names, plural, and it will choose the first one that is connected in the several names that you can choose. For example, you can use Epson and a Joker, and every printer that starts with Epson will be used.
Okay.
Names. Sorry.
So is there a plan to integrate this with, for instance, report print send? Maybe you don't know this module. It's a module from the OCA, which is used to print directly any report that is being generated and to send it directly to a printer. The main limitation being that the printer need to be installed on the server running Odoo?
Okay, it could be integrated, yes. I look into it because I don't know this module.
Or to a kub server, actually, you can configure a kub server, but often it's inconvenient because the kub server is not in the same space as Odoo, because you are running Odoo in the cloud and the kub server is running inside the customers.
I think it could be done because we have a module, I don't remember where it is, but it's called proxy action. And we use it to tell Odoo to print on a printer named with a special name. This is what we use to print on a demo printer like this one.
Okay.
We have on a product, you can use an action print label demo, and it will print instantly on your demo if it's named correctly in your operating system.
Okay. We have
because
sorry.
in the previous question you asked me how to deploy everything after having coded. When on every tag that is pushed to master, the releases are automatically generated through GitHub action. So if you code something, it's merged in master. If someone pushed a tag, for instance, in this one, you will have a .deb and a .zip that will be created. And at the moment, to have the .exe, you have to do a few more manual steps, and the code for this is in this repository.
Okay. Hugues de Keyser is asking, why do you go through the steps to get HTTPS when HTTP would work very well?
Now it works well, but a few months or maybe years in the past, if you have your POS in HTTPS in Firefox, and it tries to connect to an HTTP localhost port, it would not work. So with security, I don't remember the exact term for this, but it did not want to downgrade, and sometimes it did not work. Now it works because Firefox authorizes you to connect to an HTTP port if it's on localhost. But historically we had to do it. I'm not sure it's really useful now, but it's already there.
Okay. And also, I think browsers are now moving to HTTPS by default.
Yes, so
and possibly issuing some warnings if you're connecting on HTTP, saying that the connection is insecure.
Exactly.
Okay, Kirill says that regarding the remote printer setup, it can be solved with a VPN. Yes, that's true. In general, it also depends on how you are hosting. If you're doing some sharing and shared hosting with multiple Docker instances for multiple customers on the same server, it starts to be a bit more difficult to set up VPNs. Not saying it's impossible, but it's harder. Okay, what time is it? We still have, well, no, we don't have. It's up. Thanks. This was really nice. I think I'll look into this solution shortly for my own customers. So thank you, Pierrick.
If you have any more questions, you can contact me through Discord and I'll answer you.
Yes, thanks a lot.
Thank you.